Mites, lice, and worm infestations are not uncommon and unfortunately pose a serious health risk for the poor chicken that becomes infected. Mites will bite your chickens and feed on their blood. Lice will also feed on blood if it's present, but mostly they target feathers and dead skin. Worms rob your girls of nutrition and damage their intestinal walls. These parasites typically make their way into your flock through other animals and organisms such as wild birds and bugs. Let's begin with red mites. Red mites do not live on the chicken's body. They hide in the crevices of the coop and come out only at night to feed on your flock while they are roosting. If you have chickens who are hesitant to go into the coop to roost, red mites could be the reason why. Your girls know that they will be tormented much of the night. To check for red mites, you'll have to do it with a flashlight after your girls are on the roost. Even then, you might not see anything. Mites are very small, 1 millimeter or less in length, and are often undetectable to the naked eye. While red mites tend to infest a chicken during warmer months, northern fowl mites are more common in cooler months. Northern mites are whitish in color, but will turn dark once they have fed. Unlike the red mite, the northern mite lives on your bird. The northern mite is the most common and most serious of external poultry parasites. When present in large amounts, they are quite visible. Here is an extreme northern mite infestation. I feel so sorry for this hen and for her owner. Scaly leg mites are minuscule parasites that burrow under the scales on a chicken's leg. They leave their feces behind, causing the skin to look white and crusty. In extreme cases, the scales will be inflamed and bleeding. Like northern mites, lice live on your chicken's body. They will lay their eggs in clusters near the base of the feather shaft. Lice resemble yellowish grains of rice. They are typically bigger than mites and therefore easier to spot. However, they also move quickly and will attempt to hide. Certain kinds of lice prefer different parts of the body, such as the head, under the vent, and under the wing. Lice are most likely to infest your chickens during the fall and winter months. The symptoms of a mite or lice infestation include feather loss, reduced egg production, excessive preening. Your chickens will bite under their wings and around their vent. With northern mites and lice, you will also see clusters of their eggs around the feather shaft. And there may be a discoloration on the bird's feathers caused by the parasite's fecal matter. Left unchecked, an infestation can lead to anemia, which may be evidenced by pale wattles and combs, lethargy, and a weakened immune system. We suspected our most recent flock was infested when we saw many of these symptoms appear during their first winter. Our girls were preening incessantly, paying particular attention to their vents and wings. That's also where we saw moderate feather loss, and their egg production dropped dramatically, by more than half. We inspected each bird but never saw anything crawling on them. We even checked while they were on the roost at night. We also never saw any egg clusters. Worms are another common parasitic infection. Worms can lay dormant in the ground for years. They can infest earthworms, slugs, and snails, and when your chickens ingest one that's infected, they become infected too. Wild birds can also spread worms through their droppings, which is a good reason to keep them out of your coop and run. Chickens will also infect each other through their own droppings. The most common symptom is the presence of worms in your chicken's feces. They will look like thin strings. Weight loss, intermittent diarrhea, and a drop in egg production are also fairly common. In extreme cases, your chickens will have pale combs and wattles and exhibit lethargy. There are a variety of ways to treat parasitic infections, ranging from natural to chemical, from powders to sprays, to liquids to gels. Some treatments require a withdrawal period before you can eat the eggs, others have no such restrictions. Some are effective with 1 or 2 applications, others require several treatments. There are far too many remedies to mention here. I've included a download in the resources section that summarizes the most common ones. At a minimum, I recommend you add diatomaceous earth to your coop bedding and your run. DE kills parasites by slicing their exoskeleton and will give your girls a bit of relief. Many people believe it will also kill internal parasites, such as worms, so you may want to also add it to your chicken's feed. However, DE alone is typically not enough to treat an infection. I like to give my girls garlic. Not only is it great for their overall health, it is a natural repellent of parasites. You can add it to both their water and food. You can also use garlic juice. Dilute it first using a ratio of 1 part garlic juice to 10 parts water, and then apply directly to the chicken's skin using a spray bottle. Many flock owners also use apple cider vinegar as a preventative. I tried adding it to my flock's water, but they hated it. Chickens that free range are at a higher risk for getting worms. If you let your flock graze, keep the grass cut short, as UV rays from the sun are believed to kill worm larvae. By far, the best preventative action you can take, however, is to keep your coop and run clean and dry. This will help deter most parasites, which thrive in moist conditions. So, back to the infestation we had. After studying all of the treatment options, we elected to use a product called Elector PSP. It is very pricey, but we ultimately settled on it because it was easy to apply, works quickly, and has no egg withdrawal. Of course, we wanted to know, if possible, exactly what had infested our girls. So we put a piece of clear tape on the skin near their vent area and looked at it under a microscope. Unfortunately, we couldn't identify a particular parasite. I'm happy to say the treatment worked. We saw the symptoms reverse quickly, the excessive preening stopped, and our girls' egg production returned to normal. Do your best to prevent parasitic infections by keeping things clean and dry. If you have to deal with an infestation, consider the various treatment options and pick the one you think is best for you.